So today I'm going to try the helix a little bit differently. So previously I had this T-piece and I put the helix into each end. Now I'm going to try the bazooka that came with the Guten. I'm going to put that onto one end, and then on the other end I've just got an elbow. So the helix is going to go all the way around and the bazooka is going to sit something like that, and we'll see if the flow is any different today. Okay, so this is how the helix is going to sit with the new setup. And one little tip, if it's not flowing very well, get your stainless mash pedal, and you got to do this obviously without looking at it because it's going to be full of wort, but you do is you force it in between a spring eventually like that, and then if the speed starts to slow up, you twist it and it'll open up the coils. Always remember to do up your tap. Note to self, always use 2 clamps on the hose when filling the kettle because it gets messy. It's going to be a bad day. Alright, now that the kettle's full, it's time for the minerals and salts and whatnot. So I'm making a NEIPA this time. So this is malt forward profile. So we've got a bit of calcium chloride to bump up the maltiness, Campton to get rid of the chlorine and chloramine, gypsum gives the hops a bit of a pump, the lactic acid just goes in to help the conversion, and yeast nutrient will go in later. So over here have everything laid out that I need, so I'm just going to go ahead and measure it all and then chuck it in the kettle, which as you can see is very, very full today. So the water level is right at the top, 67 litres. Alright, so I've got a brand new sack of wheat malt. It's got the stitching across the top. One little trick is you cut one end. I'll see if I can do this one-handed. And then you just pull and the whole thing comes off. Easy. Alright, time for milling grains. Today I'm just going to run a timer to see how quick I can actually get through the grain, just because I'm curious. Now, I made a bit of a stuff up. This morning's a great one for that. I put a packet of my oats in my grain already. So that's going to run through the mill now. Usually I just mix it in after it's all cracked. So we'll see what sort of disaster that ends up with. Alright, so this is the crush. Pretty fine once again. I did change the gap to about 1.2 or something. If it focuses. There we go. What's that? Oh, looks like it slipped. Awesome. But that took about 2.5 minutes to get through a bucket of grain. So I've got one more bucket to go. So not bad. Alright, so I fixed the gap between buckets and this one's looking a little bit nicer. So just give it a bit of a shake. It could probably still go a little bit coarser, so on my next batch I might open it up again, but this is looking okay. Alright, so now is the time you're supposed to add oats, not like what I did before. So then you just give them a good mix. Make sure everything's all stirred up. Wow, that actually looks really fine. Maybe a little too fine. Oh well, we'll see. I've got a lot of wheat and a lot of oats for a NEIPA, so I might run into issues. Anyway, I'll keep mixing and then I'll wait for the water to hit strike temp and I'll add it all. So currently filling up the cube with what's going to be my sparge water. It's going to about 17 litres, so I'll take this down to 50. So I started with 67. And then I'll be adding in the grain. Bit of Joe Rogan to keep me entertained. Alrighty, all mashed in. Very, very thick. But we'll see how we go. It is 14 kilos of grain, so she's going to be a big one. Alright, malt pipe's lifted to the first step. Turns out 14 kilos of wet grain is very, very heavy. Had to stand on these, probably not the safest thing in the world, but didn't die. I'm on step 2 of the malt pipe. Sparge is going very slow. So what I've decided to do is limit the temperature to 98 degrees just in case the sparging isn't finished when the temperature gets up. So my sparge is just finishing up. I was aiming for about 51 litres pre-boil, so that's pretty close. And it's a good thing that I cut the temperature short, because I would have been boiling while still sparging. Alright, so coming up to a boil now that the sparge is finished. Stir in all this fluffiness and just keep an eye on it until it hits 100 and starts an actual boil. So when you mill wheat, it kind of explodes and you get chunks, which we do not want. So I'm going to scoop them out. 15-minute addition, yeast nutrient. Just using everything I have. It was about 9 grams. Alright, boil has come to an end. So we will switch that off. Pour in the 0-minute addition hops, which is everything I had left of my galaxy. And then I'll just give it a little stir in. Now I'll wait 10 minutes and then I'll give it a good whirlpool. Alright, it's been 10 minutes resting, so I've just whirlpooled. It slows down very quick, so it looks pretty weak, but it was better, I promise. So I'll let that settle for 10 minutes. It should go a lot less cloudy. And then I'll show you how to fill cubes. Alright, so you can see all the convection has mostly stopped. It's started to clear up again, which means a lot of stuff is settled. So I'm going to start filling up a cube and I'll show you what the go is. Slowly open the tap, get it flowing. This prevents airlocks, and then you can open it up fully. These cubes have been previously sanitized. The hot work will sanitize them anyway. So now we just play the waiting game. Okay, so we're almost full. So it's quite easy to see how full it is in these cubes. These are about 20 litres, and when they're hot they will fit about 22 in them, which is a great amount for a corny cake. Alright, now as the wort starts to hit the top of this cube, that's when we're going to slow down the tap. Okay, wort's starting to hit, slow down the tap, and then we'll just look down here to see how full we are, which is very. So we get it right to the top. Alright, second cube is almost full. So we always try to get as much as we can in the cube and minimize the air. This means that the whole cube should be pretty much sanitary because of the heat. We have also sanitized it before, which helps. And then also, when we're finished, we chuck it on its side like this. So that means that the lid gets contact with the wort and everything is nice. So we're almost there. Alright, so this is what's left in the kettle. It looks like the helix has gone into the center from the whirlpool a bit. So I might have to try something to keep it on the outside. But the cube is almost full. I don't think we're going to get much more just because it's not really flowing. I could start tipping the kettle, but meh, I'll work with what I've got. So, shut off the ball valve, Now one little tip I have with this is when you're taking this off, if you just pull it off, so far it's created an airlock and you'll get hot wort all over your fingers, which is not going to be a good end to the brew day. So what I do is I work it down a little bit, give it a pinch like that, and it just creates an opening that allows some air in, and all the wort that's in the tube will go down into the cube, and then pain-free. Now we want to get all the air out of the cube, so you just push it with your knee. I'm using a drill because I'm being soft today. We'll push it up till it's pretty much overflowing. Cap it. Now that's minimal air inside. Nice. So then I'll just get a cloth. I'll just wipe up all of this. Then double check, make sure the lid's on tight. Tip it on its side. And happy days. Now just leave that. And then you're done. It's time to clean up.